I went from this to this using intermittent fasting in 30 days. Let me explain how.
Postman. Who this? Walk, this walk, 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 this walk, walk, walk.
What is up, y'all? My name is Austin Pace. I'm a college student, fitness trainer, and entrepreneur, and I've been on this journey to try to figure out the most easy, efficient way for me to lose weight. Now, the first thing you must understand is intermittent fasting is not a diet. Intermittent fasting is an eating schedule. And people who use intermittent fasting simply just skip breakfast and fast for an extended period of time before consuming any calories for the day. Now, we have to understand why intermittent fasting is successful for a lot of people. This ultimately comes down to the premise of how do you lose weight? Weight loss is a result from being in a caloric deficit. And this simply means eating less calories than you burn daily. So if you're consistently eating in a calorie deficit week to week, you will lose weight. Now, the reason that many people who use intermittent fasting have weight loss success is simply because it is restricting their daily caloric intake. For a lot of people, breakfast can be a very calorically dense meal. So if you completely eliminate that meal, that can be close to 200 to 800 calories less that you're not eating per day. And when you skip breakfast and you fast, depending on how long you fast, you will have less time to eat before you go to sleep. A lot of times for people, this will result in eating less calories, enough to be in that caloric deficit. So if you want intermittent fasting to work for you, you have to have a strategy. The hardest part at the beginning of starting intermittent fasting is definitely skipping breakfast and fasting. I'm not gonna lie, that first week, I was really hungry in the morning, but it makes sense. You know, I've been eating breakfast all my life. The moment I stop eating breakfast, my body's gonna be a little bit confused and wondering why I'm not getting food. And let's be honest, if you wanna lose weight, you wanna lose fat, it's gotta come at some type of cost. So just don't be a pussy and just get through it. The good news is it really only took 5 to 6 days before I was really used to not eating breakfast and the hunger in the morning just completely went away. So despite some of the things you may have heard about intermittent fasting, like you have to fast for a specific amount of hours when you wake up, or you only have from this time to eat, I think you should completely disregard any of that and just create your own version of it. So in my situation, I'm a college student. I have classes all morning and I'm really busy really until about noon to 1 o'clock every single day. Now, my routine was I would be waking up around 8 a.m. every single morning, and I would fast for about 3 to 6 hours. Like I said, I got pretty used to not eating breakfast and fasting fairly quick, but I was implementing strategies that made the fasting window a breeze. I really enjoyed spending my time fasting to focus on drinking a lot of water. First thing I'd do when I would get up, I would chug a glass of water. And let's be honest, most of us don't drink enough water as it is, so just take this opportunity to get hydrated. Now, usually after I've been fasting for about 2 hours, I would then drink some type of caffeine, whether that be black coffee, a Monster Zero, a Mio Energy. It did not matter, just caffeine was helping me curb my appetite and prolong the fast. Here's a pro tip. After you've been fasting for at least 3 hours, I think it's a good idea, and it was effective for me, to break my fast with a very low calorie snack rather than just forcing myself to feel hungry. So if I was like 4 or 5 hours into my fast and I wanted to prolong it a little bit more, I would break my fast by eating an apple, or I would grab a couple pickle spears. Sometimes I'd make a really large veggie salad bowl with minimal dressing, if any, or my all-time favorite snack were bell pepper slices, and I would dip them in salsa. So depending on what sounded best out of those options for me when I started to feel hungry, I would go ahead and just eat that. All those snacks that I mentioned were under 200 calories, so I didn't even feel the need to track them. But what this did for me was satisfy my hunger enough to keep prolonging the fast. Now, some people choose not to track their calories and macros when they are using intermittent fasting, but I was using MyFitnessPal to track my calories and macros because I wanted to ensure I was hitting an adequate amount of protein daily so I can maintain muscle mass as I was losing weight, and because I think it's a good idea to do. So if you do plateau or are not seeing results, then you have data to reference to make any adjustments if necessary. I was having to eat around 2,200 calories per day, and for someone like me who has a huge appetite and can eat a lot in one sitting, this is why I loved intermittent fasting. Instead of me having to break down my 2,200 calories into 3, 4, or 5 meals, I'm now able to eat 2 huge meals, about 1,000 to 1,100 calories each, and best of all, without having to go to bed hungry. It just really worked out perfectly for me and my schedule. By the time I was ready to break my fast and have my first meal, it would be anywhere around from like 1 p.m. to sometimes 4 p.m. I'd have that big meal, I'd feel really full, and by the time I was hungry again for my second final meal, it would usually be around 7 to 10 o'clock at night. Now, the ultimate question is this going to work for you? And personally, I don't know. I cannot answer that. You have to ask yourself, are you someone that can go a little whiles without eating? Are you someone that has a big appetite, can eat a lot in one sitting? And most importantly, are you someone that has a why to why you want to lose weight? If you don't have a strong desire, goal, or reasoning why you want to lose weight, it's going to make any diet or eating strategy hard to sustain. Now, if you're wondering why I had not mentioned anything about the fasting benefits, such as HGH boosting, better skin, better sleep, it's because I didn't notice any of that bullshit. The only thing I would say is it possibly did give me better energy in the morning. I became a lot more productive in my mornings when I knew I was not gonna eat until my fast was over, and I was able to focus on a lot of tasks that I was never getting done in the morning. Just please understand that intermittent fasting is nothing magical. Just like with any diet or eating strategy, the reason this worked for me was because it allowed me to eat in a caloric deficit consistently. There are hundreds of ways to eat in a caloric deficit. Skipping breakfast just happens to be the easiest one for me. Let me know, have you tried intermittent fasting? If so, I want to know what you thought about it, what your experience was, if you had success with it. Thank you for watching this video. I really do hope this helped you in some way, gave you some insight. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel for more content. Leave this video a like. Make sure to check out my Instagram account for all types of fitness content. You can visit my website, ampathletics.net, link in the description box if you want to cop some Amp Athletics apparel. And if you want to hear about the first time I ever took pre-workout at 14 years old in high school, click this video. Let me know what you think. That's all I got. Just remember, don't be a peasant. Scrub a gooch. Have a good one.